What is going on YouTube? Brendan from Market Makers. Your trades are here, my friends. Our VCP pattern is playing out beautifully in Bitcoin. Going to go over the numbers with you. And guys, the Russell came through in the clutch. We channeled our energy to it. It got to the 200, got to the 1618, going to set these trades up. Guys, come trade with 11,000 other people on our Discord. The join button underneath the video and the Telegram for just trade signals in the video description. And if you can't do any of that because you like to trade on your own, I ask that you support us by supporting our sponsors. Check out the sponsored platforms where we trade BITGET for all the cryptos, SimpleFX for everything else, these equity trades that I do show you guys. SimpleFX gives you up to a $5,000 instant bonus based on your deposit. You don't have to earn it. It is there. Boom. You can trade with it. BitGet, guys, our longest sponsors, super liquid exchange. No problems on the BitGet exchange. It is an exchange that I love. Use our link for our bonuses as well as the private tournaments that we run. Hope to see you guys in the room. Let's talk some trades. Get into some trades because I got to get these things posted. All right, so looking at this, guys, I want to show you what you're getting into. We're not going to rant today because we got to look at the trade setups. I want to show you what you're getting into here on Bitcoin. Here's a daily time frame. Here's your 150 moving average. Let's just go over the all-time high. Okay, I want you to see the all-time high. Just going to throw this trend line very sloppily across the top. I'm just going to use the top of the candles here, but I wanted you guys to get an eyeball idea here. 27.6, 28K. This is a trend line. This is a moving average line. These don't mean price is going to hit it and fall down. Okay, this is not magic. This is TA. So this is just an area that you could have resistance, always looking for confluence. But remember, my base case, guys, my base case in Bitcoin, just like the other markets, is we are pumping up into a global tightening economy. We are pumping up on volume divergent rallies in the larger markets, which feed the smaller markets. All of these markets, I do anticipate to make tops and come back down for the next leg in the bear market rally. But it does not mean we cannot profit on the uptrend and profit on the downtrend, because I am a greedy bastard and this is what I want to do. So let's go ahead and look at this, guys. The problem that you're going to have as we get to that volatility compression pattern, and I want you to understand the risk, because trading this pattern is extremely easy to do. I've done it numerous times, probably over 300 times in the last 20 years of trading. Is a high probability trade when you get this pattern with confluences. And we're going to go over those confluences. The problem you have with this pattern, remember, what we are doing by longing Bitcoin, we are trading against the primary trend. The primary trend is down, okay? That's the primary trend. So you have to be well aware of that. There's always a higher risk profile when you're doing that. And everything I say, by the way, guys, is not financial advice. This is what I am doing. You do what you want to do, but I'm going to talk you through what I am doing. So don't tell your mommies on me, okay? So let's look at this. The weekly time frame, this has not changed. The 1 fib 24.612 to 233. This is your big problem. Yes, this is a nice uptrend, but you have not been able to flip this still. Every time you test it, you get rejected. Knowing that information is going to play into how I trade this pattern slightly differently than normal. We have our volatility compression pattern. If you guys didn't watch yesterday's video, please do watch that and you will see this a little bit more in detail. We have our compression waves, 14.59%. We have our second compression wave. I messed that one up. Let's go back here. We have our second compression wave back down to about right there, 9.34%. And this could be our third compression wave if we can hold this. And this can come down, guys. I mean, look, we have a fib right here. Let's just say it comes down here. You want consistent shrinkage in your compression waves, giving you that higher low structure. Okay, so this is the opposite of going into of something expanding. You want it contracting. Okay, so 14.59%. 9.34, 6% if it comes back down to this fib. Couple other factors you need to have a valid VCP. You need your volume declining left to right. You want supply drying up. Clearly you can see your volume is declining left to right as well. And you need volatility to drop. We can see this in the caterpillar. Let's go ahead and throw that back on. Looking at the caterpillar. Tightest compression we've had in the whole, since the beginning of the bull run. tightest compression. I do anticipate wave up, boom, come down. So let's look at the two primary targets I have for this, okay? And let's take this off and let's look at one more thing. Let's look at our money flow, okay? It's always good to be bullish in the money flow. And this is the only thing I really don't like here, other than the fact we're in a primary downtrend, is we are bearish in the money flow and we're below resistance. Volatility is obviously still dropping. A lot of the other requirements are met, okay? A lot of requirements are met, but counter trend trading can be tricky. So what I normally would do, trading a VCP, I'm going to go to the previous wave structure bottom, okay? So this is your wave 1, wave 2, bottom of wave 2. The idea here for my stop loss, that's 22,379 here on BITGET. The idea being, if this does come back down, I want it to be able to have some room. I want it to be able to come back down and still make that higher low here in trend, because this is part of the pattern. So I don't want to make it too tight. So I'm using market structure for this stop loss, okay? I trade stop losses different ways. I'll use the ATR. I'll use different measures of volatility. I'll use market structure. I'll use GAN. It depends on the pattern, depends what I'm trading. So this is what I'm looking at here, giving it some room. Now, having said that, guys, what I fully intend to do is actively manage my stop loss. Let's look at the entry point, and I'll get into the active management. So entry point, this is the tricky part, okay? This really is the tricky part. It is not normally the tricky part, but your counter trend trading. A lot of people will just want to buy it here because we want to maximize your profits. Some of you guys are in down here, and congratulations if you did that. I'm looking at this pattern. I want to look at a breakout, but I know that 200 from the weekly is doing what? It's coming right across like that. So I'm going to use a trigger order. So a trigger order for me, let's see what this top candle is that got rejected. 24,925. I'm probably looking at 24,950 or 25K. What I don't like about that is it basically puts my order right on top of the 150. But guys, this is all about managing risk, right? We're looking at high probability trades. No trade is guaranteed to succeed, okay? Trades fail all the time, but you want to look at high probability trades. We have a super bullish pattern with tight compression. The risk levels are we're trading counter trend against the primary trend. We have negative money flow. So I'm managing my risk by not just buying here, not waiting to see if it retraces and buying the bottom. I'm managing my risk by forcing price to break out above key resistance. Could it just wick and come back? Yes, that would suck. And then if it rolled down, that's why you have a stop loss. So what I'm looking to do in a perfect situation, we have our wave. This comes down, makes a shallower wave. We get our pivot out, okay? This is that blue trend line that I had on the other daily chart. So we know we have a lot of resistance here. My first target, the 1618, basically 27K, is this quadrant, guys. 45 angle, pandemic low, that blue trend line coming down is resistance, the 1618, lots of resistance here. This is an 8.3% move up. Another way I'm measuring this is risk reward. This is about an 8.3% move up to this 1618, okay? If you grab it from the actual top of the price here, 8 or 9% move up. Now, most people trade with leverage. 10x would be what? 80%, 20x, 160%. Now, the reason I'm interested in trading the breakout, if there is a breakout, is because if this does get super bullish, I'm trying to get this. This does get super bullish. You're looking at a big move up to the 200, 233, 35% move, okay? Potentially 35% move. Obviously 10x, 350%, 20x, 700%. So regardless of whether you think the TA that I'm telling you is useless, if you are in a breakout trade and you do break these targets and you think it's going to 200K, I think it's going to hit key resistance here or here and wave back down. That doesn't matter because both of us at the end of the day are capturing these profits. If it went supernova and it causes, these guys to put their hands on their face, guess what? I'm still in my trade anyway, so I don't care, right? So that's what I'm looking at, guys. The risk reward for me is there, but be very well aware that breakout is going to be difficult, breaking through the 200, 233, which is probably why I'm going to use like the 25K number to try to avoid these scam wicks. So I don't just get wicked and get a wick and get a wick and then come down in the double top and just hit my stop loss and just take a loss for no reason. Trying to avoid that. But you guys can decide that for yourself. Again, risk reward for there is me. For me is there. This is the VCP pattern, volatility compression pattern. You can learn about these as well in our educational videos on our Discord. So that's what I'm doing here, guys. Let's jump over to the S&P. Then I want to show you the Russell, what I'm going to do there. So the S&P, I am not interested still in the S&P. Why are these lines still here? We didn't get to the 1618. Now we're getting supply dumped on us. But again, remember, patience, Daniel-san. Patience. I want this to come up to the 1618 and or the 200. Peak resistance is what I'm always looking for. And that patience paid off in the Russell. I'll show you guys that next. But let's look at the NASDAQ. I already had an open trade on this. Discussed this here on the channel, posted this here in the room. We did have a nice decline down. And what was that decline down from our entry there? It was a nice 3% move, 3.35% move. I trade the indices about 100x, 125x. So it was a really nice move. And now we got a move back up. I like this trade still, guys. If you're still in this because you had a stop loss, you didn't take profits, or you just did your break-even trade, I like this still because you're getting supply dumped on you. This could end up being our buying climax candle. Need some more candles. This can also be a double top type formation because remember, the NASDAQ whisperer, me, says that the NASDAQ likes to do this all the time in trend. Like this trade, didn't get up to the 200, but we got peak resistance here with the chameleon vibration, 1618, 150, 233. I mean, line them up. That's what you did here. You lined them up. At probabilities, guys, that's all we're trading with. So I still like this trade. If you're not in this trade, this is another trade you can consider. Volume divergence. Guys, it's volume divergence regardless of whether you want to use Oanda charts or you use a regular NASDAQ chart. You can see the same volume divergence. The candles are at different levels. Use the same parameters in your indicators. I've used both charts. I've successfully, as the people in the room know, spotted these volume divergence and traded these volume divergent tops, okay? So I understand what you're saying. There's difference in the charts because I'm answering some of the comments. There's differences in the charts of what you use, but the parameters for what volume divergence is. Descending volume left to right. Price is rising, volume is falling. It doesn't matter if you're using Oanda, if you're using a different chart to track it. It's still the same key concept, okay? Let's look at the Russell because I'm so pumped about this because I was previously so bummed. The guys that watch this channel, the ladies that watch this channel, you know I love to trade Bitcoin and I love to trade the Russell. This is where I have made most of my money is these two assets, okay? The Russell has so many zombie garbage meme companies. It is so fun to trade. It is typically has a higher volatility factor than the NASDAQ and then the S&P. So I like to trade the Russell. And the Russell finally got to the 1618 year I graduated high school in 1997. Guys, I think I graduated and I had a beeper. And we used to have to code, you know, we had to code each other when we beeped each other so we knew who it was. Because if you didn't recognize the phone number, you'd be like, oh, 111, oh, that's Chip. Oh, 244, oh, that's Jill, right? Jill, who's paying too much on inflation now. That's a different video. We'll get into that again tomorrow. But 1997, guys. So this is exactly what I wanted the Russell to do. Again, this is a daily candle. You can go down in smaller time frames. Peak resistance, 45 angle from the all-time high, 1618, 150, or that's actually a 200, and the 150. Or is this a 233? Now I'm talking over myself. 200. This is the only chart I have different color codes on. And here's the 233. So 200 and 233, even better. So it got to the 200. And this is your 50 down here, which is where I expect the Russell to retrace to after it goes through the Wyckoff steps, makes its top, and starts to roll back down, looking about the 618, 1776, guys. So I like this as well if this is something you guys are interested in trading. And I'll be setting these up in the room with a little bit more in-depth analysis. One of the benefits of joining our room. 4 other professional traders in the room, guys. So check it out. All right. I think that's it. Tomorrow we'll have a little bit more fun, do some more rants, but I want to share these trades with you guys because I think these are going to be very nice setups. So definitely take a look at them. Always risk responsibly and never wager anything that you can't lose. That is my sage advice. Talk to you guys tomorrow. Have a fantastic day.